Welcome back, Gale Force, and today we'll be talking about Finn, a unit from Genealogy of the Holy War in Thracia 776, and first, let's talk about his traits. In Genealogy, Finn joins you in the prologue along with Quan and Ethlin. He also leaves with them in Chapter 4 and rejoins the party in Chapter 7 with the exact same stats and skills he left with. He will also retain his equipment if he did not father any children in Part 1. Finn's growths focus on skill and luck, and his skills are Pursuit and Miracle. Finn is an incredibly interesting unit in FE4 as he's the only unit to be playable in both generations. What's more, he retains his exact stats from the first half of the game, meaning that he can potentially become incredibly strong by the time he rejoins your army. When he initially joins, though, he is arguably the weakest among your mounted units as he and Quan are the only ones with weaponry weak to axes, and Quan joins promoted and with Holy Blood. Finn is still more than capable of holding his own with his solid bases, though, and with a couple of levels, he'll easily surpass the value of your non promoted mounts by the time Chapter 2 rolls around and the bandits clear the way for more armor knights and cavaliers. Pursuit allows him to attack twice when he is faster than his foes, which will be the case the vast majority of the time, and Miracle can occasionally come in handy when his HP falls under 10. In the second generation, Finn's relevance depends almost entirely on whether he was leveled up properly in Part 1 and whether or not he retained his Brave Lance. If both are true, he'll be a potent unit capable of holding his own through even the later chapters of the game. But if he doesn't have his lance or wasn't properly cared for earlier, he'll come back somewhat weak and should likely stay inside the castle or spending an unhealthy amount of time in the arena. Finn is in a bit of an awkward place when it comes to potentially being a father. For one, he leaves early in the first half of the game, which can lock him out of several pairings. For another, should he actually become a parent, he will lose all of his equipment starting in Part 2 and will join with only an Iron Lance. Finally, Finn lacks Holy Blood, meaning his kid's growths won't be explosive in the way that many second gen units would otherwise be. He does, however, pass down Pursuit and Miracle, which can be appreciated by a few kids if you insist on pairing him. If he marries Lachesis or Edain, their sons will appreciate Pursuit, but their magic oriented daughters will suffer the consequences. In addition, Finn cannot pass down weapons to any child he fathers. With this in mind, Finn is usually best left unpaired. In Thracia 776, Finn is with you from the start of Chapter 1. He retains his Brave Lance as a personal weapon as well as the skill Miracle. He comes with solid bases and supports with Leaf and Nana, and his growths are fairly even across the board with a slight focus on luck. Finn is a potent combat unit in Thracia as well as one of the best units to use for capturing enemies. He's a fairly straightforward unit who is great outdoors but struggles indoors due to his low base sword rank. It is possible to raise it up, of course, but several other mounted units join later with better indoor weapon ranks off the bat, often making the effort seem not entirely worth it. He is also, of course, affected by how early warp strats become available in Thracia. This is not an issue exclusive to Finn, however, and generally Finn is quite a good unit despite these limitations and will remain a very good capture bot for your army. In conclusion, Finn's usefulness varies wildly in Genealogy of the Holy War, but he really makes a great name for himself in Thracia. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell if you'd like to get notified when I post a new video. A special thank you to patrons 60 Sweep, Gorilla Danny, and Bosnian Dave for subscribing at the Paladin tier. I'd really appreciate if you checked out the links in the description if you can, but otherwise, have a great rest of your day.